around her waist. She tried to pretend this was an ordinary call on an ordinary night. Tried not to think about the fact that she had been yanked out of a sound sleep by a man with a gun. Damn him! How dare he? "Are you ill?" she asked the gunman.
"Hell no, I'm not sick," he said. "It's someone else."
For some reason, his hesitation took the edge off her anger. Another thing she had learned about bullies: they almost always acted out of fear. "I'll need to stop in the surgery, get some things."
"Where's the surgery?"
"Downstairs, adjacent to the kitchen." She pushed open the door, daring to flash one look down the hall. Mr. Battle Douglas was a light sleeper, but despite his name, he wouldn't know the first thing to do about an armed intruder. Adam Armstrong, the newcomer, probably would, but for all she knew, the handsome timber merchant could be in league with the gunman. Aunt Leafy would only dissolve into hysterics, and Perpetua had her young son to consider. As for old Zeke Pomfret, he'd likely grab his ancient rifle and join her abductor. The gunman jabbed the Colt into her ribs.
"Lady, don't go doing anything foolish."
Leah surrendered the urge to rouse the household. She couldn't do it. Couldn't put any of them at risk. "You may call me Dr. Mundy," she said over her shoulder. Her hand slipped down the banister as she made her way to the foyer. The man wore a long, cloaked duster that billowed out as he descended, sprinkling rainwater on the carpet runner.
"You're not a lady,"
he whispered, his mouth far too close to her ear. His voice had a curious raw edge to it. "Not to you." She led the way along a hall to the darkened surgery. In the immaculate suite that occupied the south wing of the house, she lit a lamp. Her hands shook as she fumbled with a match, and her anger renewed itself. As the blue-white flame hissed to life, she turned to study her captor. She noted a fringe of wet hair the color of straw, lean cheeks chapped by the wind and stubbled by a few days' growth of beard, an old scar on the ridge of his cheekbone. He pulled down his dripping hat brim before she could see his eyes. "What sort of ailment will I be treating?" she asked.
"Hell, I don't know. You claim you're the doctor."
Leah told herself she should be hardened to doubt and derision by now, but some things she never got used to. Like someone, even a dangerous man, hiding behind a gun, thinking gender had anything at all to do with the ability to heal people. "What are the symptoms?" She lifted the flap of her brown leather medical bag, checking the contents. Capped vials of feverfew, quinine, digitalis, carbolic acid disinfectant, morphine crystals and chloroform, instruments for extracting teeth and suppurating wounds, a stethoscope and clinical thermometer sterilized in bichloride of mercury, and a hypodermic syringe for injecting medicines into the bloodstream. "The symptoms?" she prompted.
"I guess fever, stomach cramps, babbling and such, wheezing and coughing too."
"Coughing blood?" Leah asked sharply.
"Nope, no blood."
It could be any number of things, including the dreaded scourge diphtheria. She tucked in some vials of muriate of ammonia, then took her oiled canvas slicker from a hook on the back of the door. "I'm ready," she said, "and I might add that forcing me at gunpoint isn't necessary. It's my calling to heal people. If you want to put that away, I'll still come." He didn't put the gun away. Instead, he pushed the flap of his duster back to reveal a second gun. The holster, darkened with grease for quicker drawing, was strapped to a lean denim-clad hip. The gun belt, slung low around a narrow waist, bore a supply of spare cartridges in the belt's loops. Clearly, he was a man unused to being given what he asked for. He jerked the barrel toward the back door, motioning her ahead of him. They passed through the waiting room of the surgery and stepped out into the night. She could feel him behind her, his height and breadth intimidating, uncompromising. "Is it far?" she asked, indicating the coach house, a black hulk in the sudden gloom. "Will we need the buggy?"
"No," he said.